Yeah, and I mean for Wet, they coming into this, they're one of the odds-on favorites, right? Like everyone figures them and Origin Gaming are going to finish 1 and 2 just because of the type of talent that are on both teams. And the big thing for Wet is we thought they were going to slip up throughout the rest of the Spring Invitational just because they were playing so well going undefeated. And so for them coming into this one, it's not as much of a concern, but they also need to watch for these sleeper games with like New Horizons, a team that has been playing together for years and years and a very solid roster overall. But they are playing with a sub tonight as Nautical will be filling in. Someone who's played with them before, but still a sub nonetheless, coming up against week 1 against Wet, who is a team that you really don't want to have anything but full strength for.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have seen that they are susceptible at times if you're able to get them off the rotation and just get 1 or 2 goals and then be able to turtle up. I know it's not the most exciting way to play, but it is something that you can take advantage of against this Wet squad. And when they start to overextend, just take that one quick shot advantage, give yourself a lead, and continue to roll off of it. The blueprint is there, but it's all about execution.
Yeah, we're already 40 seconds in. Not a lot of opportunities either way. And Taco puts one in to put Wet up 1-0, just 43 seconds in.
Yeah, nice 50 there to allow Taco to just sneak that one inside the far post. Didn't need to be quite that perfect of a shot, but what else would you expect from this Wet Esports squad?
Yeah, as Taco's going to take this one off sidewall, has a nice little flip reset. Couldn't get the touch. Landon's going to get bumped off. This one's coming back out towards mid. I'm assuming K is Cruncho, one of the other fan favorite names to pronounce in all of the last Invitational. Landon now pushing this around, looking to break out of their own half, but Wet doing a wonderful job of smothering this New Horizons team like a wet blanket as they put another one in here with 3:48 to go.
Yeah, and when you're able to beat 2 players across the front of the net, just carrying the ball, getting a high pass, that's where that usually gets stopped. And you see from Wet, they're not just sending the ball off the backboard, and something they're so impressive at doing is being able to pull members off that backboard, then use it for the pass to be able to get that extra angle, to get that shot, pulling out defenders, and giving themselves the easier lines to be able to run up the score.
Yeah, as Racing gets a good 50 there, but Cruncho going to be right there to cut it off. That one's floating towards net, trying to force it through. Nautical, nice save. Brody, open net, puts that one in. It's 3-0. A minute 33 into this one, and Wet showing why they went undefeated last season extremely early here.
No doubt. Even Simba coming and saying they're all absolutely cracked, and could not agree more. 90 seconds in. A cold burst 30 seconds is a great clip to be scoring at. The fact that you're doing it on another invitational team is just a whole nother level. We'll see if Wet can continue this tears. They are coming out, making sure they do not have a letdown early. Still a ton of Rocket League to play, but man, is they looking good.
Yeah, as Brody throws this towards back while Racing's going to be there, clears it down. Nice demo from Landon, but doesn't lead to anything as Taco Stash is right there to cut it back off. Cruncho up for this one. He's looking for the double, doesn't have enough boost to follow. Teammates just going to miss. Racing has an open net, but it's not going to be able to get there. His first touch just a little too strong. Nice floater out towards mid. Taco Stash cuts that off. And Nautical trying to get something going here for New Horizons. Takes this out of the corner, looking for the pass out mid. Cruncho shuts that off of the missed touch there. Racing takes control of this. Has a nice little flick over Taco, but can't recover as he had a open net shot there, but couldn't get around on it. And getting shut down again is New Horizons offense.
Yeah, but at least they're getting those opportunities, and that's what you like to see from this New Horizons squad. Yes, you're down 3-0, but there's still so much game to be played here. And this first game, let alone this entire series, has a nice 50. He's going to keep the ball in front of the net. Nautical not able to power it through, but to at least give yourself those opportunities, knowing that, yes, you look at the stats, you look at the records, you look at where this Wet team has been. It's a tough task, but you're more than capable to be able to get these goals, get this score going, and just need to see one.
Yeah, as Nautical gets a good 50. Brody, awkward touch, but great recovery to push this downfield. Wanted the ground pinch, couldn't quite find it. Landed towards back wall. Cruncho takes control of this one. Gets it underneath. Nautical gets it around Racing, trying to find the angle. Racing, good touch there to keep Wet off the board again as Racing tries on the counterattack. Landon's going to have an open net for his second. Teammates trying to recover. Shot coming out. Landon, a banger from the corner. 3-1 as New Horizons finally on the board here with a minute 21 to go.
A nice angle here from Landon, just getting over the top of Taco's stash and somehow keeping it underneath that crossbar. And again, just see one. You need to see one go in and get those jitters, get the confidence on your side. This New Horizon squad, and most capable of being able to get at least one, if not two more, and bring this one back and really start to put the pressure on the Wet.
Yeah, as this one gets pushed down to the corner, nice clear coming out from New Horizons. Nautical lands, picks up that mid boost, but can't get the touch past Cruncho. Landon and Cruncho going to run into each other at midfield. Landon comes away with that one, but Taco in perfect position to get the dunk and send it all the way back into New Horizons territory, killing a ton of time. Cruncho has this. He's looking for the pass out mid. Nautical, nice 50. Landon can't follow that up. Rayson's going to be there, but was awkward. Couldn't get the bang down to Landon. Nautical is going to get 50 along sidewall, goes for a pass down to Landon, gets it, but Cruncho shuts it off yet again, and that is the most impressive part about this Wet team is their speed has been unmatched in the last, 12 weeks of invitational play?
Yeah, and they make it look so effortless. They're always there, but it doesn't look like they're sprinting across the map. It's their game presence, their sense. They're always in the right place time and time again. It is so hard to fault them on any positional mistakes.
Yeah, as this one's going to get cleared down. Final seconds ticking off. Nautical pushes this one downfield, looking to just send this into game number 2 as that one rolls across the ground. Wet going to take game number 1 here after a strong 3-0 start. End up giving one back to New Horizons, but props to New Horizon after bending at the start to Wet. They didn't completely break and let the floodgates open, able to hold them to 3 after it looked like Wet was going to score a dozen there.
Yeah, no kidding. They started out hot. And again, I think it was just a matter of settling down and able to get themselves into a position as, oh, it does look like we were incorrect. I sent a message just to make sure we had the right player. It is not Cruncho, it is Kalos who is the K. So apparently Wet needs to not have so many K names, but again, playing so incredibly well.
I will say it once, I will say it a million times. If you want me to pronounce your name right, then put it in there. But now that we know that it's Kalos, not Cruncho, we will get that corrected. We just wanted to see Cruncho, let's be honest. But for
Cookies, thanks Cookies for the update. He's in Portugal. He's not even here.
That's good to know. Jeez. This is when EU would be spamming NA production.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, for New Horizons, like the second half of that game looked super promising. They were playing really well. They were able to do a little bit more. I think they were able to kind of settle down, get those nerves worked out. And so we're going to see a different start to this team here. But still, for them, they need to find some type of offense. They had 1 or 2 opportunities, and that was about it. And Wet dominated possession other than that.
Yeah, and I think also you don't really know what you're up against until you face this Wet squad out on the pitch. And now that you've seen it, you've had not a whole lot of time, but some time to start to adapt to their play style. How are they going to play? What do I need to do, etc. Now, just because you've seen it, you're still not going to be able to that beautiful pass from Kalos to Brody and get the goal started early once again. But that does help you a little bit to be able to adapt on what you're seeing out on the pitch versus just watching.
Yeah, as Taco gets an awkward touch there. Nautical gets a good 50 pass. Landon all the way back in his own half, has to rush downfield to get there. Forces that one up. Racing gets a good 50, wants to get the shot off, but Kalos there yet again to shut that down before they can get a good scoring opportunity. Taco trying to force that through Nautical. Nautical's going to be there. Brody coming off the ceiling, looking for the pass out mid. Racing is there, and New Horizons doing a good job so far through this first minute. of putting pressure on the ball as soon as they get a touch.
Thought that you were going to curse it right then and there. Had more than enough space, got the flip, reset out, just nothing doing beyond that. But you're absolutely correct. And that's something you cannot give this Wet squad. They're so mechanical that any amount of space, they're going to beat you to the ball, and they're going to either find somebody, find a bump, get a beautiful shot, fake you. Everything is within their arsenal, and that's what is. I feel like everything is so deadly of what they do to face them. But again, just you never can predict what you're going to get.
Yeah, as Nautical had a good opportunity there. Landon caught cheating up just a little too far. Couldn't finish that one off. Tries to send this far wall. Brody's going to be there. Gets the pass back to Kalos, but just overflies that one. Landon can't pick it up as Brody throws it high towards ceiling. Landon just gets a soft touch towards net. And right now, New Horizons offense just looking super lethargic. Not getting any hard shots, just slow rollers. And with that being said, another one coming out. Brody punishes. And Wet now up 2-0, 2:54 to go.
Brody lands with 0 boost, and oh, look what I found. It's Nautical throwing himself the great pass. Again, you cannot make the mistake. Even though 0 boost in the tank for Brody, just the game sense in the right place, doesn't turn away, realizing that the infield pass could be coming, and gets the shot on point.
Yeah, Landon, nice little touch there. Kalos up for that, wanted the double, couldn't quite find it. Racing wanted the full field bang, just missed it. And that is the type of pressure that Wet puts on you. Easy bangs and clears downfield. They just force you into an awkward position where you're gonna send them wide and get mistouches because they play so fast and you're expecting them to be there. As this one gets sent all the way back down, but Brody just coming with no boost, able to push this all the way back down in New Horizons territory and shut down any offense before it gets started.
Yeah, but we do have an opportunity for the side of New Horizons. Landon going up for that shot, just had a slight misread on where it was going to go, and back down the other way. Brody not having a misread, but does send the shot high, and that's the difference between these two teams. You are not going to have these mistakes, and you see how quickly it is now a 3v2 in favor of Wet, and what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, as Landon trying to take control of this one, has no boost, floating in the box. Taco just gonna slow play it, looking for the pass back out to Kalos. It is there. What a read, what a shot. And Wet up 3 now.
Yeah, I want to talk about no doubt. This was all the way. Kalos immediately jumping up and just absolutely slicing that one. Hammer it in at 69 nice miles per hour.
This one rolling the sidewall. Kalos gets a good 50. Brody's gonna be there, hits that into the open net. And just like that, 4-0, minute 35 to go. I'm gonna blame Seeger for talking through kickoff there, but
I said no score.
I don't care. You talk through kickoff.
I will talk through this kickoff. That doesn't mean anything. It is you who cannot talk, because as soon as you talk, then a score happens. And I'd already handed it over to you.
Lies. Brody trying to get that one back out to Taco, who's going to back off. Nautical takes control of this one, coming off sidewall. Brody's there, just pops it up high, looking for the clip, gets the flip reset here. Wanted the double, but just missed it. That's going to get cleared to sidewall as Landon just dribbles this one downfield, trying to find some type of offense here as Kalos just steals that off of the front of New Horizons and puts that in the back of the net.
He takes it away, gets it around the team bump, off of the wall, still has the boost and the momentum to get the extra little tap, a far post. Kalos just running through this New Horizons squad in one fail swoop.
Yeah, Kalos throwing this down towards back wall, trying to get another read. It's going to pop right out to him. Gets the flip, goes for it, and it has to be saved by a triple commit from New Horizons. Otherwise, it was another clip shot coming out from Taco. That one's just going to bounce off back wall. Nautical trying to get there, ball into the corner. Nautical pushing the pressure here, but he's going to get 50'd right into the back end of Taco, who somehow ends up finding Brody, and the counterattack coming out for Wet.
Yeah, that play right there just embodies what do you do against Wet? Taco, there are tacos raining from the sky, and somehow finds a teammate, as the two of them are less than an octane away from one another, yet the offensive play continues, and they just make it work. I know that we were talking quite a bit about it with the Origin Gaming Squad in the last series of how they look incredibly bunched up and you never know what they're going to do, and it looks unorthodox. When it happens with Wet, they somehow still make it look clean.
Yeah, as this one's going to be sidewall. Callus trying to get one more for the road, gets a nice ceiling pinch. Racing wanted to give him a little help, but that one's going to fall. Wet take this one 5-0 and did not let off the gas there.
Yeah, and absolutely. Again, you look at New Horizons, 2 shots. They only had 2 shots. Both of them were safe, so at least they're putting them on point, but they have to be able to make a better production. And I think the biggest thing that we didn't see in this one that we saw in game number 1, especially when they started coming back, was where'd the bumps go? Where'd the demos go? Where is throwing Wet off of their spot? Because if you have somebody from Wet calling out that they have it, I have full faith that they do. I don't see them making those mental lapses, those minor mistakes. They may not send it exactly where they want to, but they will tell you exactly what they're going to do, and 99% of the time it's going to happen. You get those bumps, you get those demos, that's going to throw off the teamwork, that's going to throw off the coordination, that's going to throw off the comms, and that's going to open up some slight chinks in the armor for you.
Yeah, but I mean, the hard part with that even comes down to the simple fact that even if they get those bumps and demos, it doesn't really matter because the mechanical talent of Wet just allows them to 1v1 an entire team if they really want to. And we saw it in a couple of plays. Yeah, they weren't able to finish it, but they 1v2, 1v3 a team to open up a ton of space and then just had a wide open net to shoot at. So it's just, I almost feel like there's not a lot that teams can do to try and disrupt Wet here.
Yeah, but at the same point, down 0-2, it's a best of 5. This is a potential sweep. It is time to throw the kitchen sink. Literally rip the kitchen sink out of the wall and throw it at Wet, because nothing else has worked. You might as well go for it.
Yeah, as Landon tries to take control of this one, he's going to get 50 by Kalish. Taco slow playing this one at midfield. Landon's able to get it over the top of him, but Brody just bullies his way through to get possession back, throws Racing wherever he wanted him to, as Taco cuts this off at midfield again. Shot coming out from Nautical. That was a threatening one, but Brody able to easily save that away and send it far side. Racing trying to get the read here, not going to have it. Taco bangs this one downfield, and Wet picking up right where they left off. 1-0, 54 seconds in.
Yeah, and able to get back, because that was just a boom. I'm sure it surprised Nautical as much as it did us. The power coming out from Taco Stash did get back in time, but just ever since it's such an awkward spot to be able to get that clear right off of the wall and the bottom lip. And again, you can't make mistakes against Wet. They will punish you instantaneously right on cue.
Yep, as Brody gets a little bit of love from the post here. Racing trying to get that bang downfield, knowing Kalos was just barreling down on him. Forces a mistouch, and we talked about it in the last game. They are so fast and so good that they force you to get away from what you're comfortable with and what that muscle memory is, and get a ton of mistouches, and then they just punish immediately. As Brody throws that off his own corner, trying to get it to Taco, I think. Ends up working out somehow. Nautical looking for the pass down to Racing, not going to be there. And Taco gets a beautiful redirect back downfield, and they just feel like they're playing keep away from New Horizons right now.
It really does. Anything that you attempt to go for, they're just beating to the touch and doing it again as Taco able. Now, can we talk about the name here in a second, but just beating Landon to the ball. Is it Taco Stash or Taco's Tash?
Ooh. We're going to go Taco's Tash. Just because, I don't know. Why not?
Just because K?
Just because we can. As Brody with an uncharacteristic miss there with the net wide open. Nautical trying to get around on that. Kalos throws it back over to Brody. Brody trying to get the pass down mid. It's going to fall to Kalos, who's there to put it in. And just like that, 4-0, 3:13 to go.
Yeah, and just showing why they were the champions and able. Yeah, it's true. We should ask Obama's elf. Obama's elf probably knows, but
Yeah.
why they were the champions and going completely undefeated and not missing a beat here, even with not necessarily the same players out on the pitch. It's just incredibly talented squad and really taking it to New Horizons. This is a rude awakening to the Invitational week number 1.
But I mean, this is why the qualifier and the seeding in the qualifiers were so important, because I mean, most teams wanted to avoid wet for this simple reason, and they've been the most put together team week 1 of an invitational that we've seen. Like, they look like they're still in peak championship form, and it's been what, a month and a half since they've last been on the field in the invitational. And so just not missing a beat, and that goes to speak volumes on just how disciplined and how good of a team they are.
Yeah, it's not like they've not been doing anything. As another beautiful save comes out from Gallows. Brody and Takis. And so somebody was talking about their twos teammates as well. Been playing together. They're just out there pre-high-fiving, guys. That's all that's going on. They're pre-celebrating with those pre-high fives. A little bit of team love, team kiss. But we saw Wet in the Caster Clash this past weekend and played exceptionally well. Ended up going undefeated in group stages, even defeating the eventual victors, Jubilee. So it's not like they're just taking the time off, and they can take down dang near any team when they're playing top notch.
Yeah, and I mean, even with that win in the Caster Clash against Jubilee, they didn't have Brody, so they were still playing without their full firepower, and that has to be the scariest thing for these teams in the Invitational. Is this is Wet without their normal roster on the field, so it's only going to get better. It's only going to be a stronger, faster, more accurate team down the stretch when they have everybody playing, and that's the craziest thing to think about.
Yeah, 60 seconds left here in game number 3. It is looking like it is going to maintain and continue a clean sweep for the side of Wet Esports. And, I think for the side, and there's a nice bump coming through. I think the side of New Horizons, this is a great game to take and learn from. Try to adapt a little bit of what you're seeing and what you're playing against, and see if you can't mold that into your own game. What did they do that was so dominating, and be able to take that, learn from that, especially having 2 games this week, and see if they can't take that to their Thursday opponent and still go 500 after week number 1 is not a bad place to be.
No, not at all. And I mean, look at some of the other teams that ended up getting auto qualifiers, making top 8 last invitational. They started out 0-3, 1-4. And I mean, look at Wet. They started out 2-2 and ended up coming away as the runner-ups here. So just because you lost week or night 1 does not mean you're in for a long season. As Landon gets a beautiful own goal here. Own goals, best goals.
Now we're hearing from production that those are called Musas, but I'm not sure I've ever seen Musa be able to get in the air legitimately without getting bumped first. So I think we're against that one, as well, not even allowing the Racing to get that last goal. I think it was a little high, but a good 5s here and a great opening showing from Wet.
Yeah, and like I said, for New Horizon, like you said, for New Horizons, take this as a learning opportunity. I mean, you're playing a team that's what, 2 B+ players and a CRL player, so it's a team that can make deep runs in RLCS quals. And so take it, learn it, use it as a good experience, and GG, go next. You still have another match on Thursday that you can bounce back strong on. Yeah. Now, granted, it's a really tough match, but
I was getting ready to pull it up. Yeah, they're against BBU, and BBU didn't look the greatest today, but that they're gonna come back on Thursday and just want to absolutely tear up the pitch with New Horizons. So it is definitely not an easy one, but it's definitely a winnable one. And you never know how they can be. So take this and learn from it. And you got tomorrow, you got Thursday, and that match. But tonight was all about Wet.
Yeah, and like we said, Wet picking up right where they left off last invitational, looking like the team that was the winner and going undefeated. And this feels like an unstoppable force. And I mean, let's be honest, we're all interested to see how this season's going to go, as we do have a lot better talent this time. But Wet coming out making a statement saying, we're the champs, we're still undefeated. Someone knock us off our crown.
Absolutely. And speaking of, joining us here for a quick chat is none other than Brody on the Victorious Wet. Brody, you guys coming out, you wanted to set the tone, I'm sure, after winning the Spring Invitational. Now we got some more on the line here for the Summer Invitational, and coming out in an absolutely dominating performance, but not necessarily the team that we're used to seeing out of the pitch, but didn't miss a beat. Tell me what's going on with the what seems like the team minimal roster of Spring.
Well, I don't know, honestly. No, but we played well, so.
Now, you guys just came off of a caster clash where you were able to go undefeated in group stages. You didn't have, well, you were subbed out, and now you come into tonight where you don't have Cruncho, so your full roster's not out there. Like, how are you guys able to adapt to not having your best three out there and still show dominating performances?
Well, Kalos is still a god, so I mean, it's really not that hard to adapt to playing with him, because I mean, I play with him all the time in like just private matches and stuff like that, so it's easy to adapt. And with Taco, the new addition, he is just better than me, so it's so much easier.
That's a scary statement. I'm not even playing you, and that's a scary statement to hear. And the rest of them know. I know you guys. We've had some banter going on in the chat, and you know, this team and that team, and you guys looking like still the team to defeat, and you know that you're going to get the best shot. Is there anything that you guys are focused on, like, okay, we know we're going to get the best, here's what we need to shore up, here's what we need to work on? Or is it more of, as long as we continue to get stronger with what we do, we'll be fine?
I think that we can beat pretty much any team in here. I mean, as long as we're playing how we should play, we have a chance against anyone.
Right.
And what we've been working on is just, you know, comms. Comms has always been our biggest issue, but with Taco, he adds in a new, you know, a leader, really. So, yeah.
Now, are you guys, obviously you're looking to go undefeated again, finish 2 circuits undefeated and go back to back and be the only other team to repeat as champions. Now, I know you guys are feeling confident in it, but what do you think your toughest hurdle is going to be to get to that milestone?
Oh, it's definitely going to be Resinal, Lemon Puppy, and Bumpin'. They are rank A for a reason. They are gods.
Man of many words, definitely is. Sorry, Rosie said a man of few words. Man of many words. But Brody, thank you for your time here. The floor is yours before you head out. Anything you want to give a shout out, or anything you want to say before you go?
I want to give a shout out to Cruncho in Portugal.
Yeah, so we found that out afterwards. That's why I asked, who the K was. And then after you said Escalos, Cookies came in the chat and said, hey, he's in Portugal. We're like, well, then of course it's not Cruncho. He wouldn't be playing. So, yeah, absolutely. But, hey, thank you for your time here. Congratulations again on the victory. And as you guys proved last time, you can't win them all if you don't win the first one. So I'll let you head on out and enjoy this with the rest of your teammates.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Brody from the Victorious Wet Esports, continuing right where they left off in Tank. I know that, yes, he says we can beat anybody. They're still a team to beat and proving it.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to have that confidence if you're sitting there undefeated after, 16 games last Invitational, and now adding to it at 17. So they're 17-0. Like, you got to have that confidence that you are the team to beat and that you can beat anybody, because you've proven so far that you can. Yes, they still have to come up against Origin, but like we said, they just beat Origin in the caster clash in a best of 3. So they know they can beat technically anybody in here now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's just a matter of them doing what they need to week in, week out. They still have another match as well as all teams play twice a week here in the Summer Invitational. They will be facing off against Team Sonus on Thursday. And again, Team Sonus ended up going down and falling to Eclipse earlier tonight. So they are 0-1. Irate also won 3-0 against RBG Claw. So definitely got some shakeups and some interesting ones across the board here on this Tuesday night.
Yeah, and just a quick update, we still have one series left, and that's the Origin Gaming one, and Escape Velocity. But so far this week, Seeger, you are 3-4.
It's a bad day.
And me and Dilly are both 4-3. So the worst Dilly and I can finish is 500, and the worst you can finish is 3-5.
Yeah, it's a bit. Listen, somebody had to take the place of hybrid, and let's just say I'm man enough to take that spot. So